Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be testing the Lamborghini SC18 at Golden Max in Asphalt 9 multiplayer. This car's Grand Prix got rerun about a month ago, and so I thought it would be a good idea to showcase it again, because that's something I like to do. Whenever a car comes out in some form or fashion again, either available to obtain again, or in an event again, and even if I have tested it before, I like to test it again, because sometimes multiplayer has changed, and so I got to drive this car at Golden Max in a multiplayer season that was a while back. In the same season, I also got to drive the Pagani Imola at Golden Max, and so I will be making a video about that sometime soon as well. Now, the SC18 is a car that is kind of overlooked in a lot of cases because it is not one of the kings, but it is very close. It's definitely one of the better Class A cars. It's quite fun to drive. The max top speed at 234 is right along there with many of the other high-end A-Class cars, and the acceleration and nitro, both of which are above 80, are very good. The handling stat on this car is above 60, and so its handling and drifting and all that stuff are decent as well. It's not going to be as agile as something like the Corvette, but it's definitely above average in the higher end A-Class cars. Another high-end A-Class car that I've gotten in the past few months, but never made a video about yet, but that I plan to, is the Genty Aculone, which I got at 1 star. And even at 1 star, it already goes 232 miles per hour. So it's very interesting because you can take out this car, which ends up having a very low rank, and as long as you get a track where having super good nitro and agility don't matter all that much, you can pretty much keep up with a ton of high-end B and A-Class cars pretty well. And that should definitely make for an interesting video, quite looking forward to that. But for now, we have the SC18, which is admittedly a lot more fun to drive than a 1-star Genty Aculone. What generally happened in these races that I played in this season were some of the cars would stick pretty close with me throughout maybe half of the race, and then they'd start dropping away toward the second half. Like, this is not a car that's just going to pull away from everybody, but it's going to be one of those better than average ones that you can take out most of the time and win, let's say, most of your races in it if you're a skillful driver. Not all of them, because occasionally there will be a faster car than 234, like a few of the A-Class cars do. But if you have this car at anything above like 2 or 3 stars, which is about where I have it at, it's going to be pretty good, because even at those ranks, it was decent for me. In that race, we beat another SC18 as well as a few other cars, and this race was quite interesting because 6 out of my 7 competitors were the F8 Tributos, which is kind of another one of those cars that people forgot about even more than the SC18, because I don't think hardly anybody got it, because it just didn't seem fast enough to be very useful, and its event wasn't the easiest thing, and so you don't really see a lot of them out there. And that is why I believe in these seasons, which have maybe 7 or so Golden Max free try cars that you can take out, the cars that are more rare are almost always the ones that get played in a lot more, at least toward the beginning of the season. Now, obviously, at the higher leagues, the players are going to be mainly playing in the best cars because that's how you get there, but you will see a lot of people going out in some of the cars which may not be quite as good as the upper level ones, but are just ones that they haven't gotten to drive as much, and may not know when they'll be able to drive again. And in this race, we see that the SC18 has done pretty well against all these F8s. I was in Pro League in this race, so my competition probably wasn't the greatest, but we do have some Elite League races later on in the video. And speaking of Elite League, many people have asked me to make a video in Asphalt 8 of getting to Elite League, because apparently now it is a lot easier than it used to be, which I'm very glad about, because now in Asphalt 8, it is kind of set up like the classic seasons in Asphalt 9, where depending on what league you're in, you're limited by class on the cars that you can drive. For example, if you're in the lowest class, you just get D-class cars, and so on up. And so you can only drive the S-class cars once you get to Elite League. And I was originally quite worried about this because Elite League in Asphalt 8 in the old multiplayer was extremely hard to get to, and probably 90% of the people who got there did so through team boosting, which is something that people did a lot in Asphalt 8 back then. But now apparently it's a lot easier, so I'm definitely willing to give it a try. You have noticed probably that I have not uploaded many Asphalt 8 videos recently. It's honestly just gotten kind of boring to me again, but that is one that I definitely want to do and probably will do in the near future. Another video that's coming up is my new Asphalt 9 music video at 40,000 subscribers, which I am currently hard at work on. I think your guys are really going to enjoy it. It's still EDM, but it's in a genre of EDM that I have not done before. And some people have also asked, when am I going to give some teasers on that? And if you've made it to this point in the video, I guess I can give you one. go to the announcements channel in the official Asphalt 9 Discord, which I do have linked in the description, and you'll get an idea. So the current Grand Prix for the Essenza is going okay for me. I'm not going to try super hard for it. I'm going to see what I can do without spending any tokens on it, since I don't have very many right now and I want to save up for something better, but I probably will be making a max test of it. But the thing is, even if it is good at max, it wouldn't really benefit me much to go for it, since I'd have to start up to, well, max, which would cost many more tokens than I'd be willing to spend, and so that is why I don't really go for a lot of the new cars that come to the game unless I can star them up a lot, or I know I'm going to be able to later and I know it'll be really useful. But other ones like this, which I don't really know when I'm going to get another chance to star up, and they don't even look particularly amazing to me in terms of usability in the game, I just don't see the point in spending a ton on. But yes, I will be doing the max test, and I have some other multiplayer videos coming for you guys, some with my own cars, some driven by guests, just to get a good variety of cars overall on the channel. As I've always said, I want to get at least one video of every car in Asphalt 9 on the channel, so that if you look it up, my videos will always pop up. I just think that'd be pretty funny. So we beat again a ton of Tributos in that race that were super popular in the season, and entering the final race, we have two Emolas as our main competitors on Nevada, the longest track in the game, I'm pretty sure. I mentioned this in some of my ESL weekly recaps. Definitely go check out the full stream that I did with Inverum of the Asphalt 9 finals this season, just this past weekend, which is on the ESL Mobile Open channel. It is longer this time, up to 2 hours, because we split the iOS and Android brackets, so there are twice as many races for you guys to enjoy. We saw some new faces, we saw some old ones return, and overall it was quite a fun season. So now it's time for my general review about this car right here, the Lamborghini SC18, and I will say it was an absolute blast to drive. I look forward to seeing more in multiplayer and for it to become a more mainstream car with those couple of Grand Prix, because I just think it's a very good car that hasn't gotten enough in the spotlight. Not going to be a king, but a super good multiplayer competitor for sure. Top speed is average, handling and drifting are above average, but the acceleration and the nitro efficiency are well above average, some of the best in Class A, I'm pretty sure. And so even if you have this car at low stars, it still keeps some of those characteristics and might be worth trying out in multiplayer if you haven't for a while. Thank you all so much for the crazy support recently. We're almost to 40,000 subscribers, and that is where I will upload my 9th Asphalt music video. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video if you have enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt and other games content, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!